All right, we've been following breaking news all day in Norwich after a volunteer fire department was suddenly shut down this morning. The Yantic Volunteer Fire Department says operations were suspended around 10 a.m. after disagreements with the city of Norwich over a new contract.
Fox 61's Valerie Moravi heard from Yantic and Norwich leaders about what led to the shutdown.
Well, city leaders are calling these changes unfortunate. The city manager said those items on the contract were thoroughly discussed between August 4 and now. And the Yantic Volunteer Fire Department chief, he said they didn't have enough time to discuss it with their members.
We didn't want to be shut down. We didn't ask to be shut down. But again, we didn't make the 10 o'clock deadline. And I believe at 10:02, they were knocking on our door here and they transmitted over the air that they were taking the Yantic Fire Engine Company out of service.
Yantic Volunteer Fire Department Chief Robert Allen says they're no longer allowed to take emergency calls after the city of Norwich suspended all operations over a new contract agreement.
You're basically, telling us that we have to sign this or you're going to get shut down. I mean, you didn't even give us a full business day. Even if I signed it, I don't have the authority without the backing of the membership, to implement that policy or sign that agreement.
If they would have said, well, we really have the whole department has to agree on this and we can't do it in one day, I gladly would have said, well, get it done as soon as possible and hopefully make a good decision. So we weren't closing the door on that, but you had to put a deadline at some point to kind of get their attention.
The City of Norwich manager John Salomon says the decision to suspend all operations comes after several safety concerns and lack of accountability. Norwich Fire Chief Samuel Wilson says they had concerns about service delivery, unified command coordination, and following safety and response standards.
There's a lack of accountability. That means knowing who's on the scene, whether they're coming and going. Again, that's very consistent on a lot of the calls that I went to, and then most recently in the calls last week, which led to this operational action.
Salomon says the Yantic Volunteer Fire Department's attorney mentioned their plan to sue the city.
We have not been served, but their lawyer has said that we will be served. So I'm going to assume that there is a lawsuit floating around, and it's just a matter of time.
Now, the city manager says they hope to come to an agreement with the Yantic Volunteer Fire Department without any legal actions. Reporting in Norwich, Valerie Moravi, Fox 61.